Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the I Can Do It podcast. I'm your host, April Burke, and today I have a great guest, fellow comedian Jason Marby. Hey, Jason.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. That's good. I do have to mention something before we start. My brother, Stephen John Byer, won the Flight Deck Film Festival of a screenplay that he wrote this morning, so I want to say congratulations to him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, his script was McLucky's St. Patty's Day Bar Crawl. Long title. I don't know if he's going to shorten it or not. And he had two other films that placed as finalists as well, which is cool. This one is about time lost amongst friends while trying to find your own identity, like trying to find yourself. And what I read of it, I haven't read the whole thing yet, but it was pretty fucking funny, I must say. It was great. So I just want to say congratulations, Stephen.
Congratulations. So does funny run in your family?
Apparently. My dad, I know whenever we have like family dinners, it's always dirty jokes and stuff. So I guess I was raised like that.
Yeah. I think that's for me too. Like my father was really funny. At least I always thought he was really funny. So it kind of trickled down that way.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing how that works. You and we actually met on Plenty of Fish.
Yes.
You had approached me about doing a comedy show, and at first I was like, is this guy just trying to lure me somewhere, or is this for real? And it turned out to be real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, where you live, that's kind of outside my dating circle. It hasn't extended beyond my fucking circle, but it definitely extends beyond my dating circle. And I was doing this thing where, I started up a comedy showcase here in Pittsfield, and I was just looking for comedians to hit the stage. So I think in your profile, you even mentioned that you had not been doing comedy for a while and were trying to get back into it. So,
yes. Yeah. And we did a great show at a place called Corked in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, right? It was Pittsfield?
Uncorked.
Uncorked. Oh, I said corked.
Yeah, just the way you want a wine bottle to be, uncorked.
Yes. Instead of corked the whole time. Now they have another new business, right, that you're working with?
Well, Uncorked was a project from the owners, my friend Luke and Lindsay. They own Otto's Kitchen and Comfort in Pittsfield. And Uncorked was a project of theirs. It was a small venue, about 45 seats. And they were letting me to do uncensored comedy showcases there during business hours, which was cool because we didn't charge at the door. And we passed collection plates. And it's nice because the idea I had behind the showcase was to give good open mic comics some stage time and some cash, because that's what every open mic comic wants. But there's just not enough paid stages out there to give everybody, or these are people that are still working on stuff. But the show turned into something really great. Prior to the COVID pandemic, we had celebrated a 1-year anniversary with the show, and most shows were 4 comics, and we put on some really good laughs for free here in Pittsfield. And like I said, giving comics stage time and cash is definitely a bonus, especially when you're just used to doing 4 or 5 minute sets.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun. The atmosphere was great. It was cool. There was no cover charge for them, and they give tips in the collection plate to pay us all very nicely, and I thought it was just a great experience all around.
On average it's like $45-$50, but for an open mic comic to get $50 for 15 minutes of stage time, that's a win-win, and it's a lot of fun. Everyone gets a drink or some food. And the nice thing was when the owners of Otto's sold Uncorked, we moved the show to Otto's, which is a much bigger venue. Our last show we had 75 people at. So the tipping was better, and now we can pay comics more. So if you're like an open mic comic and you get 15 minutes of stage time for $65, that's pretty fucking good. I've traveled 3 hours for $30. I mean,
it's amazing. Yeah, I traveled to New York City for 3 hours and get paid nothing. So it was great. It was definitely wonderful. Back to Plenty of Fish. So we recently went back on there, you and I, and I actually found somebody, which is totally crazy. I went on for comedy material, and I had gotten some, because there was one guy that had his profile pic was a picture of a pussy split with his face. It was like, all right, that's interesting. I didn't talk to him though, but I did screenshot the profile.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised that a big tit blonde is having success on a dating website.
But let me tell you, his name is Ronnie, and he's like the male version of me. And I always thought I hated myself until I met myself liking a dude. It was like, oh, maybe I do like myself.
So he's funny. Things are going well.
It's going great, and he's hilarious too. He has this phrase that he uses called the ass lift of consent. Like if you lift your hips to take your panties off, that's consent, he says.
It's hard. Logic is hard to argue with.
It is. Our first date lasted 7 days. We met, and then he just didn't leave. He had to go back home. And
wrong. Your first rash lasted 7 days.
My first date.
Oh.
Did you say rash? Yeah, I got the cream. You know, it lasted. It took it away.
Sounds like a slinger.
But the world record for the longest date is actually 12.5 hours. We got that totally beat. And like, that's a Guinness Book of World Records. And Guinness is my favorite beer. Even though they're not related, I think I should get some free Guinness. That's what I thought. There are a lot of weirdos on there, but actually I did meet another nice person. He was disabled. He was a paraplegic, and he said, you know, I know nobody on here is going to date me, but, you know, I'm depressed. I'm looking for a friend and that kind of stuff. And so I did talk to him a little bit and cheered him up a little bit. But it was nice to kind of meet somebody like that, too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be interesting. Listen, I've dated a lot of women that felt like they were dead below the waist, so I can relate with something like that. Honestly, like, maybe I'm just like an asshole, but when I'm flipping through the people on Plenty of Fish and I see that woman in the chair with a throat tube, I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing here? Way.
You know what used to be my problem, because they have the swipe left and right on there too, and you get swiping left, and then you finally see one you like, but you swipe left and you can't get it back, and it's like, oh, fuck.
And like right on the next one because you're trying to get the old one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can't unlike that person, which fucking sucks. Got a glass eye.
There was one that you showed me who looked like Tracy Morgan. She was interesting.
Oh yeah, I had like an imaginary dialogue with myself, pretending to. I wanted to call her Morgan Tracy. She looks like Tracy Morgan in drag. It's like, you pay for all the drinks and everybody getting pregnant, and that's the impression I could ever pull from inside of myself. So
I love it.
I don't know. I'm gonna go dick off. I don't know. It's just.
I could seeing her picture. I could totally see that Tracy's voice coming from her, definitely. And then you sent me one. I think she had like was she all tattooed? The forehead, the face. It was pretty crazy looking. Jewel
Tattooed on her forehead with a crown that went around it, and I thought it was like one of those like Snapchat filters or whatever. So I keep. First of all, without the tattoo, she was still a fucking monster. But the tattoo made it like so much better. I'm flipping. I was like, boy, she really likes this filter. That's her. That's her fucking forehead. I mean,
it's great.
What's the motivation for dating her? Now you've got something to aim at? I don't know.
It's horrible. Those dating sites are crazy, but that's got to be one of the craziest ones. And like now I'm thinking like if me and when me and Ronnie get married, we'll be like, where'd you guys meet? Plenty of Fish. Like that's such a horrible meeting story. But you know what? Everything in my life has been fucked up and backwards, so that just fits right in with it.
Yeah. It's weird because like talking to women, my impression of what it's like to be a woman on Plenty of Fish is rounds and rounds of unsolicited dick pics and then insults when you don't want them.
Yes, you become the whore, you're ugly, you're fat. They throw all that kind of shit at you.
Yeah. And they at you.
I know, it's crazy. And I always wondered what the chicks look like, and now that you have shown me some of the variety on there, no wonder why people thought my profile was fake. Because god damn.
Yeah. I don't understand why people don't find my profile like appealing, because I feel like I'm really fucking normal. I know I talk like an asshole a lot, but I'm a decent work. I make money. I'm a single dad. Tiny pecker.
I know you're a great guy, and I don't understand either, because I don't know what the hell they're going for, because let me tell you, there's no competition on there.
This is a bad time to meet people. I'm not even trying. It's really become like entertainment value, and I've only shown you the tip of the iceberg with these women. And I feel bad. Am I just making fun of ugly people, or they're throwing off the curve of the dating pool?
Yeah.
Dude, there's 50 new people on there, but only 3 of them are dateable because everyone else is a monster. It's great.
It's like plenty of fish, but there's too much chlorine in the ocean or something, and the fish are all mutated. That's what I think that is. Oh my God. And then I'll have people ask me to send them pussy pics and videos and stuff like that. It's like,
again, I'm sorry. It's just what I do.
Nice. I was on freaking Pornhub the other day, and everything is stepmom, stepbrother, stepdad. Like, when did mainstreaming of incest porn become hot? Like, I just don't get it.
I gotta play devil's advocate. It's fucking awesome. But when you watch porn like that, it kind of warps your perspective. I was dating a girl, and she had a cat, and she got another cat. Now they're not related, but whenever you put 2 animals in a home, they're brother and sister, right? Well, this new little kitten gets down on the ground, and it really aggressively starts licking like the vagina and the asshole of the older cat. And the girl I was seeing was like, "Oh my God, we gotta stop them. They're brother and sister." I was like, "Stepbrother." Porno always are. She's like, I shouldn't be doing this. You're my brother. He's like, "Stepbrother."
I know. When it first came out, I was really, really into it. And then I don't know, it just got kind of old for me, I guess. But lesbian porn is always good for me. I like to tell like men. I had this boyfriend that got so pissed that I watched porn because he thought I was checking out other guys. It's not about that. Like, chicks, let me tell you, are watching the other chicks. We're not even watching the dudes. Like, that's why I like the point of view porn where you just see the dick and not the guy.
Well, I'm a big fan of tranny porn. I think it's super hot with like 2 lesbians suck each other's cocks. Guys, but whatever. I'm 42. What the fuck? There's no punch. I just like tranny porn.
I'm actually having a porn star on my show. I'm recording with her on Wednesday. Sally Mullins. Her porn name is Jamie Foster. She does granny porn, but to me, she doesn't look old enough to be a granny. But I guess she'll wear the granny panties and stuff, so that's kind of like granny stuff. But
you've never been to the Pittsfield Walmart? There's like 31-year-old grandmothers there.
Oh my God. You go to the Cobsco Walmart, it's all felons, drug addicts, people without teeth. It's quite the shit show here. Oh, and I wanted to tell you about a story. I have insomnia because I have PTSD, and sometimes I'm awake all night. And for a while there, it became like 2 a.m. was the Let's Make Confessions to April time. One guy was telling me how he wanted to fuck his sister. But this guy I'm going to talk about, I went to school with him. He takes the cake. He messaged me crying that his wife was cheating on him, and he found pictures and videos, and would I like to see? Now, of course, being a porn lover, I said, yeah, like, send it to me. So I was flipping through the pictures, the videos. It's her and dudes. And let me tell you, let me back up a second. Her fucking pussy was a gaping pussy. Like, it didn't even close anymore. It was just open. And the ass was like that too. And the pubes just went from her belly button down to like her mid thigh. It just wasn't hot. And I get to the last video and picture, and it's her being licked by a dog and fucking a horse. And I was just like, wow. And he asked me if I was into animals, and I was like, I like my cats, but not like that. Like, no. And the great thing was that he was upset she was fucking other dudes, but not upset that she was fucking animals. Like, that's weird. And like, I feel responsible for his love of animal fucking, because in the 7th grade, my brother's friend Rich brought over this big box of porn VHS tapes, and one of them was a German bestiality porn. I watched it. It was disgusting. I'm like, I got to get this out of my house before my dad finds this and thinks, oh my God, what kind of freak did I raise? And I gave this kid that porn. So I feel kind of responsible for his animal fucking, like in an inadvertent way.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't tell other people that story.
If you hear a knock on my door, it's the FBI.
I mean, it's when you're a kid. Now, I don't like everything's on the internet now. You know, so I'm talking to when I was a kid, you found a magazine or you found a videotape without a label on it. And sometimes you run across shit like that. And as far as I know, it didn't have any ill effect on me or the other friends that I had. But that's some sick shit. You think that was his first exposure, was the videotape that you gave him?
I don't know. I mean, it was definitely my first exposure.
You gave him animal porn videotape, but you won't send him a picture of your tits. You're an animal.
So it was just crazy. And then he wouldn't stop sending me pictures of his wife's disgusting pussy, so I just blocked him. And
I think that was more of the thrill for him.
yeah, I think so too.
He's a cuck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because it sounded like at first he sounded upset, and yeah, then it was like, oh, this is hot. And then he started sending me pictures of him fucking her and videos of her blowing him, and it was like, well, no, I just want to go to bed. Like, come on, disgusting.
It's definitely weird. I've never had a guy send me stuff like that.
It was the second porn I ever watched, and you're right, it didn't have any ill effect on me. Like, I think it's absolutely disgusting and horrible. Like, I was horrified after seeing that, because the animals, some of them are restrained and like fighting. It's like, it's not, I don't know what anybody would think that's hot.
So here's the first VCLE video that I ever saw, and we're at a buddy's house. I guess the kid knew his dad's porn stash. Like, oh, you guys got to check this out. It's really funny. And so it's this horse, and he's got his big old floppy horse stick there. And there's this woman that kind of gets down underneath the horse and is trying to position herself so that the horse can enter her. And so there's the woman's vagina. There's the horse's dick. And the horse just like rams her, and she goes flying between his front legs with her arms. And then she got under and tried it again. I thought to myself, what a good can-do attitude, because sometimes you got to get right on the horse. And but dude, he like freaking rammed her forward like 8 feet. It was awesome. You know, like a normal one would be like, fuck this. You know, get your sister to do this. But it was
yeah.
Dude, trooper, a real trooper.
Yeah, like how bad does your life have to be to do that? I thought of that when I watched remember the 2 Girls, 1 Cup? Actually, they made 2 of them. It was disgusting. And it was so disgusting, but I couldn't stop watching. I watched them both to the end. Like, I just couldn't stop. But, like, I was thinking, how bad are their lives that it's come to this?
I don't know. Money, cocaine. That video, you know, started a lot of careers. Try not to take a drink when I'm doing a joke there. I'm going to start breaking April work.
That's right. Ronnie was asking me the other day if I have any sex toys, if I have a vibrator or a dildo, and I don't. I prefer my hand because I can control the speed a lot easier than having to twist the fucking vibrator. Because I had one when I was younger. Actually, as soon as I turned 18, I went on adamandeve.com and ordered one and had it sent to my parents' house. Because I would get the mail every day, so I knew I would intercept it, and I did. And it was cool, but like I just couldn't get the control settings to do what I wanted. And and I think there's word on the street that maybe you have a sex toy as well.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any shame in this. You know, as an adult, you really kind of give up on your hang-ups of what things are. You know, I know guys feel intimidated by a woman that has a sex toy or whatever, but truth of the matter is most women have a sex toy. So I want to introduce you to little April, my my sleeve. So we got a mouth over here and a vagina over here. And so this is for the guys out there. Listen, if you're intimidated by the size of your girlfriend's sex toy, you think it's bigger than you, no woman's going to be able to compete with this vagina. That is not a 42-year-old's vagina. That's like a That's like a 16-year-old vagina. I remember. That's like no hair. It's so tiny. But my favorite part is the other side, the mouth, because what they do is they got these little rows of, let me get there, fake rubber teeth.
Oh my God.
It feels, you don't want to bite her, but you want like a little raking going on. That's nice. But so every guy gets sick of fucking the same girl every night. So some days I'll give her an underbite. Hi, my name's Trick. Or give her an overbite. Home, Debbie. It's not all sex. Sometimes we watch a movie and just make out. It's like it's like the alien of Sigourney Weaver's like
It stretches like that. I love it. That's cool.
An accordion, like Mom has got a squeeze box, Daddy can't sleep at night. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, if I ever get ready to propose to a woman, I'm gonna hide her diamond ring inside there. It's like, just get it.
Just finger this, finger it.
I'm so glad it's dry in there. They take a lot of care. They're dishwasher safe. I don't know what else. Yeah,
Dishwasher safe.
I go to my favorite sporting events and I root for my team.
I love it.
Okay. Siesta. Okay.
Hey, at least it looks like a pussy and not the freaking flashlight thing that they make, the flashlight. I mean, that thing's kind of weird. I mean, it does have like a thing on the outside, but I don't know, it just looks a little weird to me. And the real dolls that people get too, they look dead, but they look real. I don't know if I could fuck something that looked dead though.
They do make male ones with like a decent dick on it. You can
Oh, do
design.
they?
Yeah. You could get that big old horse cock to just.
Yikes. I'm on the smaller side. Ronnie said, what did he say last night? I got a tween twat. Tween twat.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
It's crazy. One night, I'm thinking of vaginas now. I'm going to tell you a story about when, back when I did cocaine, I was bisexual. Like, sober, I'm not really into it, but cocaine
Bisexual.
Yeah, exactly. And it was my friend and his wife and another friend, and we started playing strip twister. Now, of course, I have no coordination, so I'm the first one that's completely naked. The other ones still have their tops and pants on. So he's like, how do I speed this up? I said, they're drunk. They're not even paying attention. Just use the spinner and make them fall. So I was an accomplice in the whole thing. And the whole thing was videotaped, actually. I got to see if I can get that fucking tape before I see it on some, on some random social media site. So we all went down on each other, and then it was just like one crazy fucking night. I didn't drink when I was on cocaine, so it was just all cocaine fueled for me and more drunken for them. So I think I was more alert and knew what was going on.
Alcohol doesn't affect you when you're on cocaine. Not the same way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember when I would drink.
So I've heard.
Yeah, and so I've heard that when you do it and you drink, you suddenly feel sober again, and then you continue to drink, and then you'll feel fucked up, and then it's like it sobers you up back again. So I've heard. That's what they say.
Wait a minute. You gave the guy the idea of how to get the two girls to stumble more and get them through. You're a regular Maxwell. You're just like Dwayne Maxwell.
Well, I've always been one of the guys. I grew up with my brother and his friends, and then in adult life, I have a lot of male friends, not many female friends, probably because they all know I'll make them lose at strip twister. It's crazy. I don't know how I did this horrible last time. Jason and I are recording again because I set up an automatic thing to automatically record, and it did not automatically record. So we just we shot the shit for a while, and it was a lot of fun. And we did talk about last time single parenthood. You're a single dad. I think that's fantastic. Ronnie is a single dad of 3. So I have so much respect for you guys. It's just amazing.
Well, I am a single father. I used to be a double father, but nothing says both twins are going to live.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that a rough one? I probably don't want to hear the story behind it. No, so I've got a 13-year-old son. It's just him and I. It's just been him and I for a long time, and it's weird. Now that he's 13, he doesn't really feel like a son. He just feels like a shitty roommate. I walked into his room the other day and I stepped on a sock that crunched, so I don't know.
The cum sock. I told a cum sock joke at a show once to 4 Belgians, and they had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. They said they use tissues, not socks. I was like, I guess we're just a little more disgusting then.
I don't like using tissues because sometimes the tissue will stick to you and then it looks like your dick cut itself shaving, and not a big.
Yeah, that's true. That would stick, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, socks are better, I guess. Oh, that's what I got to look forward to when David turns older, finding his cum socks.
I had a roommate to just jerk off and come on himself to sleep. He's like, I'm going to come up in the morning. I'm like, yeah, but you're rolling around in your cum all night.
Oh, my God, it's disgusting.
Gotta be bed. I got a king-size bed. Maybe I could come on one side and not sleep in the wet spot on the other. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if I masturbate before bed or have sex before bed, I don't not go to bed just covered in stuff. I use I'm very hygienic, so even like every time I pee, I use a Cottonelle wipe to clean it up, because I think Cat Williams made me that way, because he used to talk about pussy crumbs, which is when toilet paper sticks to the girl's vagina, because that's like how is that when you see that on a girl? I mean, you still go, but like, does it set you back in your head like, ugh?
It's like getting a plate at the buffet, but your plate already has somebody else's food on it.
That's a great analogy.
It was down there to wipe away urine, so basically you got a little urine soaked ball. But then again, you get to an age where you're just like, fuck it, I could not be eating pussy right now. And I mean, dicks stink. I mean, if we got to deal with pussy crumbs, let's be honest, dicks stink. And,
I think it's the mixture of the dick and the balls. It's like sweating all day. Like, even before I have sex, I like usually try to at least freshen up, but I prefer to shower, because I just like, I don't know, I just want to be clean. Like, and Ronnie said I this is getting really fucking descriptive, but why not, right? He said it's like sterile when he goes down there. There's no scent, there's no taste. It's just completely sterile, and like, that's how I like it. I don't know. I have
a pretty good track record with nurses, and all of their vaginas smell like hospitals, like that SteriClean hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Really nice.
That's great. I'm lucky. The one girl I went down on in my entire life, she was clean. Thank God. I was afraid, actually. I was afraid to go down there.
Well, if you've only been down on one girl, what's your basis of comparison? What if that?
Not much, but yeah, that's true. There's not much. I just picture a lot of smelly vaginas, I guess. Like, how often does that occur? Is it a common occurrence, or is it just? Listen, I mean, if you're out at a club and you're sweating and stuff, like, I could see that getting a little rough. But
over the past 3 years, I've maybe dated like 10 girls off of Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish is a double entendre. I'm a sneaky one.
Nice. And I never believed in multi-orgasms either until this past week. I just thought it wasn't possible. I have PTSD, so usually when I have sex, I have to be on something. But with him, I've been completely sober. I've been completely sober, and it's a totally different experience, because I actually feel comfortable with him. Because my PTSD comes from childhood sex abuse, and then my first boss tried to rape me. I had a patient that tried to rape me. Like, it's been a lot of sex stuff. So I would get to the point of feeling like I was going to come, and then I just a mental block would come and just be like, nope, you can't enjoy it. Like, and that's what you tell yourself as a kid, because somebody was picking on Oprah Winfrey the other day for saying this. When you're molested as a kid, it feels good. Like, if somebody's touching you there, it feels good. And it's not like an emotional response, and then you're telling yourself, well, this is fucking weird. Like, I should not enjoy myself. And it's just like, it's something just clicks in your head and just fucks you up.
Yeah, in the dating world, most guys will listen to shit like that if they think they're going to get laid.
Yeah,
No, that's a whole story, and it's interesting because people that aren't exposed to that sometimes don't get the opportunity to put their head in that space or listen to people to understand stuff like that. And I guess so. I've never had any type of sexual trauma as a child, but when I was like 8 years old, I was at my pediatrician, and I've got a birthmark right on the tip of my dick. And actually, if you look at it from the side, it looks like Oscar the Grouch's worm. It's funny. It's orange, and it's got purple rings around it. And the doctor maybe just thought it was dirt, and he's holding my dick, and he's taking his thumb trying to rub the dirt. I'm like, it's a mole, and I was contemplating telling him if it was a mole or not. I was like, maybe if you spit on it, it'll come off. I don't know. But you're right. When you're a kid and you get that kind of pleasure, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
My mom took a picture, and then we all left.
Does she whip those pictures out? You know how moms whip out like naked pictures of their sons. Hey, look at this. This day is when we looked at his penis, his birthmark.
Yeah. Felt like he was trying to regrow my foreskin for me.
Oh my God. I dated someone, and their poor son, was like partially circumcised. Like the guy, it looked like he did half of it and then just give up. Like,
what'll it be today? Yeah, just take a little off the top.
Yeah. And I'm glad everything went fine with my son's circumcision. Like they didn't over circumcise him, let me tell you.
I'm sure you'll remember I'm circumcised, but I decided not to have my son circumcised, and that's sort of been like trying to teach him about cleaning that, but I've never. Yeah. I don't know. He's doing all right, I guess.
Yeah, and he can, and if he wants it, he can do it at any time. When he's an adult, he can get it done. And some people like it, some people don't. I guess it's just a personal preference.
Did I send you a little video recently, or did I forget to? Of
I forgot to.
Oh, I'll send it to you after the podcast. It's hilarious. But speaking of uncircumcised penises.
Oh, I can't wait to see it now. Are you working on any new upcoming shows or any kind of projects?
No. So right now, as it stands, the comedy showcase is on hold until we reopen to full capacity. Really comedy is more of a hobby for me. I work full time. It's just, what I have to do as a dad. There was a period of time when I was living with a woman, and I got to go do more open mics, and I was open micing maybe 2 or 3 times a week. It hasn't been that way for a while. In fact, when I was doing the showcases, I would write jokes all month for that one showcase because I didn't want to tell stuff 2 months in a row, and we have repeat attendees. So that was actually really fun because I felt like I was pumping out more material than I ever do. Most of my material is created in my head. It has nothing to do with anything I've done or been through. But then again, I would say about 20% of my comedy is influenced by life. Everything else is just spontaneous, creative.
Which I think is awesome. Some people can do that. I think I would freeze if I went up there and did that. I talk about my life, so it's easy to remember the stuff that I've done. But I think I would just freeze. I don't know.
I like being spontaneous. I've never done improv, but I think I would do really well at. Did a roast battle, which was really fun because now you're writing jokes specifically for one person, and that's interesting. For a while, I was going out to Saratoga Springs Comedy Works and taking the comic writer classes that were given by Dick Williams, and those were really helpful. So, sometimes it's really hard to say where the comedy comes from, but mostly it's in my head. What I do a lot now lately is look at headlines, news stories, and try to pick out what's funny and turn that into something that's comedic. Again, I'm not doing anything with it. I've just got books and books of notes and notes and notes. But when the time comes, definitely been building material. The whole pandemic thing is interesting because you're writing situational comedy that almost changes week to week. So it's, these jokes are use them now or don't use them ever. And that's what kind of goes up in my stand-up page on Facebook.
Yeah. Ronnie was asking me, why don't you do political stuff? And I'm not into that. But he made a good point. Like, if I started doing like dirty political stuff now, that I'd be interested in. Like, you know, Michelle Obama's and Barack Obama's first night at the White House. You know, he was fucking nailing her, saying, "Who's the first black president? Who's the first black president?" Like that kind of stuff. Like, I just don't know. I probably wouldn't get into any kind of politics because it's just not me. You know.
It's not me either. But right now, I think with that retard that we've got in office, it's easy to make fun of him. It's almost like, you know, picking on the disabled, and that's fun at times, but you're not supposed to do it.
Now, he was a great guest. He was on the Howard Stern show for many, many, many years. He was great. I mean, he talked about how he could have fucked Princess Diana. I mean, you know, he boasts too, so you don't know how much of that is true. But like, he would just talk about the bitches he banged and like all kinds of stuff. And he was great at that. But like, I don't know.
He's a whack packer with a bank account.
Yes, definitely a whack packer with a bank account. I've been doing online Zoom shows with Dat Fan, the original winner of Last Comic Standing. I was sick for 3 weeks though, so I took off. I did work on the podcast a little bit. So I'll be going back to that. He's going to be charging soon. He's working out all like the logistics because it's a pain in the ass because everybody has a goddamn microphone when you're in on those Zoom things. And he has to go around, and he doesn't want to mute them all because then you don't hear laughter. But then you got people breastfeeding and cooking dinner and like all kinds of stuff as they're watching you, and it's just a pain in the ass. Like I have a lot of respect for him because it would drive me insane to do that. He has 5 Apple computers that he's running at the same time to watch everybody. It's tough.
It sounds interesting. Honestly, people have asked me if I was going to do anything online, any videos, stuff like that. I don't know if I could do it because I really feed off the crowd. You know, sometimes we're on stage and you have the lights in your eyes and you can't see faces, you see bodies, you're telling jokes and you want to hear that laughter. I would just feel like every joke bombs.
Yes,
You know?
I felt like that one night. Yeah, because I do it on my phone because my laptop sucks. So when you do it on your phone, it flashes to maybe 2, 3 people. And like, you're just hearing them and seeing their reaction. And you feel kind of shitty. Like, am I bombing? And then everybody else is like, that has a computer. No, you did great. Everybody was laughing. But I can't see that. So it is kind of like a bummer. Definitely.
Yeah. So have you been having fun with those though? Have you been doing 5-minute sets with those?
I have been doing 10-minute sets with him. I started off doing 5 and then moved up to the 10, which is great too. And I always have this fear of blanking out on stage. So when I do his shows, I do have like Lisa Lampanelli does in her little notebook, like just keywords that would trigger it in my head. And I've been doing that because I'm not known to, but known to in my own head to fucking get up there and forget what the fuck I'm talking about. But luckily I have so much life experiences and stories that I can just pull from out of nowhere. That's definitely a saving grace, I would think.
Well, I know a lot of comics work on their set. When you say something over and over and over again, that's what you do. You memorize your set. Like I said, I write jokes for one show and they're gone. It's hard to memorize order, but I do have a notebook. You know, I've got a joke where the punchline is something to do with cilantro. So I write cilantro there and I remember the whole joke. But I don't know what joke I wrote before that and what joke I write after that. And that's why I need the cards to help me stay in order and use segues. And, you know, that's another thing that I've worked on more is what jokes connect well. Am I going from a family joke to a sex joke to a driving joke? Or is that really the best order to have them in? And so, you know, and actually when looking for segues, sometimes you write a joke as a segue. It helps with the writing process. It's something that I was working on a little bit more because when you were doing the showcase, obviously, notice I do 5-6 minutes up front and do, you know, 3-4 minutes in between each comic, and I usually finish with a joke. I could have 20 minutes of stage time, but how do I take those little groups of jokes and make them connect well or maybe be on the same theme? I write a lot of one-liners and set up delivery jokes that are funny and get laughs, But if you got to remember 25 of those to fill up 5 minutes, that's so. Along with the one-liners, is sometimes you look at that one-liner and how can we turn this into 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Another thing I do. So.
Yeah, definitely. I write all my jokes out, and I used to write them word for word, but I don't do that now. It's just one word, and that reminds me. And yeah, it just sucks because the freaking blanking out on stage, and every comic does it sometimes. And the audience has no idea. Like, if you pause for a second, to us it feels like it's 30 minutes. To them, it's just like that.
Dead air kills.
Yeah, it sure does. Where can we find you on social media?
Well, you can just look me up, Jason Marby, stand-up comic. I have a page where I do random thoughts, jokes, original memes. I don't share anyone else's stuff there, so everything you see there, I created. There's a decent video of me at the Saratoga Springs Comedy Works about 2 years ago, which is only 4 minutes long, but it's a good video. A lot of laughs in it. Other than that, that's also a good way to get show dates for when we start doing the showcases again. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm at Comic April Burke on Instagram, and what else? Twitter. And then I'm April Burke on Facebook too, and I have a fan page as well. I really don't do Twitter that much because it's kind of redundant to kind of be posting things over and over and over again. I mean, it's good for publicity, but I don't know.
I'm not a huge social media guy. I don't want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera. I like being, so that's what I do. And I don't like, but when I think of something funny, I try to throw it up there, and
Hey, my birthday is May 4th. I want you to be the ventriloquist, your pocket pussy, as my entertainment.
Yeah. I'll do a little ventriloquist act. Jeez,
yeah.
That would be something else. I'll do kids party.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, but I already talked about all kinds of tween twats and horse fucking and all that. I figured, I'll let you take that one.
Try to blow it up like a long balloon. I'm afraid if I blew into that, it would just like start queefing on the other end.
That would be great.
A Viking battle horn. Like how zebras win vulvas when they're horny.
I used to be amazed by the queefers that Howard Stern would have on his show. Like, they could do it on demand. Like, I can do it accidentally, like when the air gets in there when you're fucking, but like, I just can't. I'm not skilled enough, I guess, to just sit here and just queef it out.
I think it's long in that's the hard part.
Yeah.
If they were the length part.
Pussy farts. They're always funny. I think. At any age, they are funny. Definitely.
Maybe a new expression, like when something's shitty, that goes over well like a pussy fart in church.
Yeah, that's some funny imagery right there. And I think we should leave our viewers with that, of queefing. My dream is to queef Canon in D with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra someday. It's an unattainable goal, but it's a goal. I want to thank you for coming on again and re-recording with me. This was fantastic. I always love talking to you.
Does that mean I get paid?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll write you a check, just don't cash it. Definitely. So please subscribe to the channel. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day, great rest of your week. Be kind to one another, and goodbye.